Hello, everybody, and welcome to Indie Agencies News. Let's try that again. Okay. And let's get me maybe centered. Oh, God, I look like I have a sunburn. Okay. Hello, everybody, and thank you for your support of Indie Agency News. Let's meet an indie agency. We're going to Charlotte, North Carolina. It's the Queen City, right?
It is the Queen City.
That's correct.
Why is it the Queen City? I think somebody's explained this to me before.
You're probably not asking the right people since neither one of us are from here.
There are, like Atlanta, there are a lot of transplants. Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah, a lot here in Charlotte.
But there's a good reason. Charlotte is a beautiful place.
It's Queen Charlotte. Is if you know the show, it's Queen Charlotte. So it's
okay. We'll go with that. Someone from North Carolina is going to be like, "No, y'all didn't get it right," and I want to.
Don't ask.
I'll explain it to y'all. Y'all Northerners. So the agency is Luquire, and so I'm curious about the name and the background of the agency. When were you founded? And tell me a little bit more about Luquire.
It's a perfect year for asking that question. It's our 40th anniversary.
What?
Yeah, 1984, right?
Wow.
So 40th anniversary, and we were founded as Luquire George Andrews, but we went to LGA for a while, but there was a very natural problem with that for anyone who's been to New York City. And so, that was fun to try to compete with the airport. And about, what was it, Glenn, would you say 2 years ago, we rebranded?
About 2 years ago. Yeah.
Who was one of our founding partners.
Okay.
And he's still involved in the business.
I love it. Agencies do a lot of things, but there are things that agencies are best known for. What would you say Luquire is best known for? Who wants that hot potato?
Oh no, that's a good one. I think I think what we're becoming known for. So we're a relatively new leadership team. After that 40 years, there's a new group of three of us, Stephanie and myself and Brooks Luquire, the son of the founder, Steve, took over about 2 years ago, and we've redefined really the purpose of the agency is to help accomplish our clients' uncomfortably ambitious goals.
I like
and
that.
So that's become our mantra. And it started as sort of a new business pitch and became something that we really truly believe in. There's science to back it up. It's called neuroplasticity. When you set an uncomfortable goal, you're more likely to reach it 90% of the time, is what studies have shown. And so we've really embraced it, and we've found it's incredibly effective when we talk to clients and we assess their goals and we say, well, what if you pushed it? What if we thought of it this way rather than this way? What if and how can we come in and help you accomplish that? And it is becoming, it's a little bit sticky, it's kind of catchy, but it's also grounded in reality. And so we're finding a lot of traction with it.
Grounded in reality helps.
Yeah. It's not just spin. It's science.
We are in a post-strapline world. So although it is nice that it is important to strategically have your narrative and have your position locked down. It's great that it infuses everything that you do. Again, agencies do a lot of different things very well, and indies in particular do a lot of things well. What would you say your top 3 core strengths are as an agency?
I love this one. Well, I think the first thing, and of course we're an agency, so it's a made-up word. Glenn came up with the idea of kindor, right? Which is a combination of kindness and candor. And essentially what we found is that if you try to operate without both of those, you're really setting your relationship up for failure. If you have big goals, you have to be honest with each other about what's in your way of achieving those goals. What could you do better? What could you do differently? But if you're not operating from the same team and you're not approaching it with the same end in mind, then you're not going to do as well. So definitely kindor is the first one. I would say another really important factor for us is the fact that we are basically at this point fully remote. So we're able to get talent from just across the country. It's really the best talent that we can find for the need that we have. So the best of the best, a lot of them are fleeing some of the holding companies, which is great for us. And then I would say last but not least, it's really our integration. So we are a full service agency, and we start with kind of that big picture goal. And then we have media, PR, content, strategy, everything that a marketer would need to achieve that goal. We have it in-house. So we're really, singing from that same song sheet, and really all, trying to get to that same goal.
Right.
And one of the things we do with that is, which we found has given us quite the advantage. So even regardless of scope, we bring all of our disciplines to the table. So if we're coming up with a marketing plan, if we're working on a campaign, even if, let's say, PR isn't in scope, we bring our PR team to the table, because we want to make sure every idea, every plan is fully vetted, so that clients know it's going to work. If they have to hand it off to an external partner or their internal team, they know that the idea is going to work on all aspects of the marketing deliverable. So.
Yeah, Stephanie, get the dog. Bring the dog over. I want to see the dog. Come on, bring the dog over. Come on. Oh my God, look at you. Oh my gosh. How old?
Can you hear him? He's 2,
no,
and he's the bane of my existence, but he's
no. He can cuddle with you. He can come up. Come on up. What's his name?
He doesn't want to cuddle. His name's Brady. We did not
Brady.
give it to him.
All right, come on. You can come over. You can come over, buddy. No, that's fine. That's fine. We love animals. All animals welcome here.
All right, not to be outdone.
Oh, here we go. Got a little tater over there.
Little piece of meat on the floor.
There we go. Yeah, ours is downstairs. I think she's sleeping. Hopefully, we'll find out. Her timing.
As long as she's not whining in your ear, then she's good.
No, she'll just start barking at something outside. That's always the thing. Let's move into independence. And Glenn, I want to start with you on this one. Why is being independent important to you and your team?
Well, I remember the days when I was working at Donor. One of their pitches was, and this is back when they were independent, was that they didn't have to answer to shareholders. And,
sure.
I've worked at some of the larger holding companies, and there is truth to it. I don't know if it negatively impacts the work as much as you might want to pretend making that argument. But what I've found coming to not just an independent shop, but a smaller, medium-sized shop like Luquire, is just our speed. It's our agility. So not having to, for instance, hire. We don't have to go to a board. We don't have to go to an office in a different city. We don't have to go up to a network. We don't have to get salaries approved. Like Stephanie and me and Brooks, we're it. And so we get to make decisions in the moment, whether it's for the client or it's a nonprofit. Hey guys, we want to put our own money to this and get it produced. Everybody says, yes, let's do it. And we don't have to go through the chain of approvals to get that stuff done.
Yeah, that's one I hear a lot. Stephanie, what about you adding to that?
I mean, honestly, I think it's the fact that we get to set our own vision, and we get to hire people that then ascribe to that vision. And there isn't anybody kind of telling us we can't do things a certain way. It's really about kind of setting the stage for what we believe can happen.
Yeah.
So I think that aligns very much with what Glenn said. But I do think it's a combination of the independence and the size.
Yep. This question is really interesting to me. What's the main reason a brand should work with your agency?
They want to achieve something big.
Yeah.
If they want a partner that's going to be in it with them, if they want someone who is going to learn their business as much as we know our business, I think that's the primary reason. We want to be business partners, not just an agency vendor.
Right. Brady, go show him.
Brady also wants to be.
Oh, Brady boy. Look at that face. You love that.
Karina, we're ready to talk to you anytime you want.
Oh my gosh. Oh, look at him. Glenn, your thoughts on that. Why a brand should work with the agency?
Yeah, well, that's, our core purpose, as we've defined it as this new leadership team, is to help clients win. And that's our sole purpose. We're and this goes back to the fattening shareholders' pockets. I just diffused that argument. Now I'm using it again, but there is truth to it.
Sure.
We're here to do what our clients need to do to win. And that's part of the reason we're fully integrated, and it's part of the reason we built the team we have. But that's why we're here, and to us, that's where our successes lie.
Let's move over to talent, because you mentioned earlier remote, so you can go anywhere. Why should talent be putting Luquire on their list?
Well, I would say not everyone should, right? I mean, I
Right.
think
Right.
if you, if you want to come work with us, I think you need a couple things. You need to agree and align with the vision that we've put forth for the agency and for our clients, because this business is hard. I mean, there's
Yeah.
so much that's changing every day.
Right.
And we really require people to not just stay on top of it for themselves, but then to share what they know with other people, and to constantly be willing to, question and think about, is this the most powerful thing we can do? Is this the right thing we can do? And so people who really love stability and don't want to see change, probably not the right people for us.
Right. Right.
Same thing with ego. One of the things that, I moved when I moved out of the big agency environment, I wanted to make sure that we avoided, like the plague, was any kind of an ego-driven culture.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
so if you can't put that aside, then we're probably not the right shop for you. But if you're excited by all of those things, then
Right.
dear God, please apply.
Yeah. Glenn, from the creative side, your thoughts?
Yeah, when I came here, one of the most important things to me was not to bring with me what I've experienced most of my career, which is that hustle culture.
Mm.
I can remember there was an agency I will not name where the chief creative officer used to wander the halls on Saturday morning to see who was in.
Oh, that's no good.
And there's all sorts of different. It's a spectrum, right? Some agencies are worse than others, but we really try to respect people's time, especially with a virtual agency.
Yeah.
And the freedoms that we try to provide people, but being careful not to let that drift into 24/7. And so we try our best not to work on weekends. We constantly tell people, when you go on vacation, be on vacation. Don't check
Right.
your email. Don't check Teams. Check out. And trying to do that. And what it requires, though, is it requires moving from a hustle culture to a proactive culture. Which speaks a little bit to what Stephanie's saying. You got to grab an oar here. We're a small agency, we're a virtual agency, and we're an incredibly fast growing agency, and it requires everybody to step in and do a little bit of the work. You roll up your sleeves. I'm sitting down and writing headlines when I can.
Oh, kicking it old school.
Well, usually I write them to say, don't do it like this. Right?
Oh, okay. Right. That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, it's really requiring people to grab an oar and pick up and help the whole team and be a team.
Love a good nautical reference. Love a good nautical.
There you go.
This last question is a bit of a thought exercise, which I enjoy this. Similar to what we asked about brands, whether they're a client or not, which CMO or marketer do you want to say hi to?
I can start here, but I want to hear Glenn's response too. It's maybe a little expected given the win yesterday, but I'd love to say hi to Mattel. Because talk about uncomfortably ambitious, the way they took a brand that I thought was on the verge of dying 10 years ago and have slowly turned it into this cultural icon that people don't stop talking about all the time is the definition in my mind of uncomfortably ambitious.
Right.
And so I would love to say hi to them and just talk a little bit more about how they did it and what we could do further.
Yeah, I would agree. Hi, Mattel. Yeah, big fan. Just to see what they've done, and not just with the movie, but what they've done over the years, whether it's integrations with Verbo and having the Barbie house, and just seeing how they've evolved a brand that could potentially have sort of cultural pitfalls in the way it's been perceived in the past, and really turned it into a modern, relevant brand. To me, it's really remarkable.
Who else?
It's cool.
You got don't punt. You got to pick one. Come on, Glenn.
Oh, let's see. Oh gosh.
Come on, you got this.
Let's see. Stephanie took mine.
Oh no! Oh
I
no.
have two. I can give you another
Yeah,
one if
go
you
for it.
want.
What's the second one?
All
What's
right,
the second one?
The other one that I have a personal love for is Crystal, the hamburger chain, the little mini
Oh,
hamburgers. You know what I'm
oh
talking
yeah,
about?
no, yeah, familiar. Yeah.
They, ever since I was a child, I've always been obsessed with them. I think they have such potential from a growth standpoint, and I don't think they're very well understood. So I would love the chance to give them and give them an uncomfortably ambitious plan.
Okay. I like that. I like
Yeah,
that. So wait,
they're really good.
you grew up in the South?
I did. Well, my family's all from Nashville. So I
Yeah,
grew up
that's
in
South.
Virginia, but they're from
That's
Nashville.
that's
So
also South. Yeah.
I mean, I don't think of Virginia as Southern, but technically you're right.
Well, Richmond, when you get to Richmond, yes.
There
Yes.
you go. I grew
Yeah.
up in Northern Virginia, so that's where
Oh,
it's.
okay. Yeah, that's
There it is. There it is.
DMV. Glenn, where'd
Yeah.
you
So on
grow up?
that note, I'll say hi to White Castle.
Oh, so you're from
Because
Jersey.
that's because I'm from the Midwest. So that's
Oh, wait, you're from
that's
whereabouts?
the Detroit area.
Okay, so you're
Yeah,
lower
yeah. So
peninsula.
that's the Midwest version of Crystal, I think.
Yeah, yes, it is, and the East Coast version of it. I've got a story
Right.
about White Castle pre New Jersey Devils hockey game once. Decorum prevents me from telling it. All right,
Oh,
Stephanie and Glenn, thank you both so much for joining us. Really loved hearing about the agency and about your culture, about where you're driving things forward for your team and also for brands. We wish you continued success moving forward. Thanks so much for joining us.
thank you so much, Doug.
Thanks, Doug.
And that's the awkward part.